up next on ECN, a regularly scheduled meeting of your Edinburg City Council. On the council, Mayor Omar Ochoa, Mayor Pro Tem David Salazar, Council Member Dan Diaz, Council Member Jason De Leon, and Council Member Jerry Lozano. Sitting in as advisors, City Manager Mayra Ayala and City Attorney Josie Ramirez Solis. And now, live from the Edinburg City Hall, the Edinburg City Council.
Time now is 6 p.m. We'll call to order this regular meeting of the Edinburg City Council. Looking around, I can see that all members of council are present, so we do have a quorum. If we can go on to item 1A, is Miss Pastor Joanna Walker present? No? Okay. Councilmember Dan Diaz, could you lead us in prayer?
Yes, please. If everyone could join me in standing. Remove all headgear. Let us pray together. Before we begin our city council meeting this evening, let us take a moment to thank the Lord God for the opportunity to be here, working together toward the common goal of enriching our city and all who work here. Lord, we praise you and ask you to guide us in this meeting, that we may be united in the spirit of mutual respect and the healthy exchange of ideas. Help us work together for the good of all our community. We ask this in your name, and as always, in God we trust. Can I get an amen? Amen. Thank you.
For item 1B, the Pledge of Allegiance, Councilmember Lozano, could you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is certification of public notice. Madam Secretary.
Yes, sir, Mayor. The meeting was posted in accordance to the Texas Open Meetings Act on January 13, 2025 at 6:05 p.m., sir.
All right. Next item 3, disclosure of conflict of interest.
Yes, Mayor. Under state law, local government official is required to disclose a substantial interest for themselves or certain family members and abstain from voting on matters related to such a conflict. Are there any conflicts to disclose related to pending matters on today's agenda?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next item is mayor's report, but we'll skip ahead to the city manager's report because it's one and the same tonight. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Today on the city manager's report, I do have the City of Edinburg events, the 44th annual All-America City David Chavana 10K Run Walk. The city is preparing for the 44th annual, like I mentioned, All-America City David Chavana 10K Run Walk, along with the 25th annual Fun Run and 11th annual Miracle Mile. The Miracle Mile will take place at 6 p.m. on Friday, February the 6th at Richard Flores Stadium. Then on Saturday, February 7th, the 10K will begin at 7:30 a.m., followed by the Fun Run at 10 a.m. And Saturday's race will start in front of the Edinburg Parks and Recreation Center, located at 315 South Mark Peña Drive. The city invites the community to participate and show their support as we honor the legacy and lasting impact of the late David Chavana, whose dedication and service continue to inspire our community. Registration is currently open online at activeedinburgh.com or in person at the Parks and Recreation Department. For more information, residents may contact 956-381-5631. And additionally, along with the preparation for the 10K, residents are invited to join Mayor Ochoa for his Run with the Mayor events at Municipal Park at 8 a.m. on Sundays. And for more information, they can reach out to Mayor Ochoa or follow him on his social media for any updates. That's all I have, Mayor and Council.
Great, thank you. Yes, it's a lot of fun. Come out and join us. Sundays at 8 a.m. We have coffee. You can walk. You don't have to run. But it's all in good fun, and I hope everybody here will participate in the 10K this year, whether you're a spectator cheering on the runners and the walkers, or if you go out there yourself, which I hope that you do. So thank you. Next item on the agenda are the proclamations or recognition. For this particular one, could you read the caption and then pause so I can say something?
Okay. Yes, Mayor. Presentation of proclamation recognizing January 2026 as Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees Month.
Yes. So we're very honored and happy to be able to do this proclamation to recognize the Edinburg School Board in this School Board Month. We are so glad and privileged to have members of the school board here today. I do have to apologize, though, on behalf of the city. Unfortunately, we did not contact the school board members to let them know about the proclamation this evening until this afternoon. So for the school board members who are not here, my deep apologies for that oversight. But what I would love to do is come to your next school board meeting personally so I can present this proclamation to you all at your meeting. So again, apologies for that, but we love our school board. We're very happy to be working with you all. We want a great partnership between the city and the school district, and I apologize for the oversight. All right. So do we have the proclamation?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Yes. Would you like to read it?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I will now read the proclamation for the record. If you're here to receive the proclamation, if you can come to the podium. Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees Month. Whereas Governor Greg Abbott recently issued a proclamation officially marking January as School Board Recognition Month in the state of Texas, acknowledging the importance of school boards this year's theme is Our Future is Public, highlighting trustees' crucial role in public education. And whereas the mission of the Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District, ECISD, Board of Trustees, administrators, teachers, support staff, parents, and community in partnership with public and private agencies is committed to provide the support, resources, and academic rigor to ensure all students achieve educational and social excellence. And whereas the ECISD vision is that all students will master the competencies to be lifelong learners to compete, contribute, and succeed in the global community through positive attitudes and high expectations. And whereas the ECISD Board of Trustees works closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members to achieve the educational vision we want for our students. And whereas the ECISD Board of Trustees is responsible for ensuring the structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system. And whereas the ECISD Board of Trustees are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district. And whereas the Edinburg City Council recognizes the ECISD Board of Trustees members, David Torres, Carmen Gonzalez, Leti Flores, Luis Gialamia, Leticia Garcia, Javier Salinas, Dominga Vela, and the volunteers who work tirelessly to guide the school district in creating a meaningful, high-quality educational experience and opportunities that prepare our students for college, careers, and beyond. Now, therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Edinburg, Texas, by power vested in them by law, do hereby recognize the Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees and recognize all citizens to join in recognizing the ECIC Board of Trustees members for the dedication, leadership, and commitment to improving the education system and that it meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children.
On behalf of the school board and our community, I want to thank the mayor for being the front runner for getting ahead of himself, but with the good thought of the idea of working together, because Edinburg serves all the students from Edinburg. So we consider ourselves the need to always work together. We want to know what they're doing, and they want to know what we're doing. So together, we'll do the best for this community. So I'm glad that, I think this is the first time that this has ever happened. So we feel very happy. The ladies feel very happy that you recognize that we, the board, and you, the commissioner, and the mayor, we need to work together, to continue to work together. And the better we are, the better our students are going to be. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Yes, and thank you, Mayor Ochoa and City Council and everyone that is here. And it is true. We need to work together because at the end of the day, each and every one of you that is sitting here, whether you went to the Edinburg School District or any other school district in South Texas, you had a teacher, you had a principal, and you had parents and community that supported you. Mayor Ochoa is a proud product of Edinburg North High School. Jerry Lozano, you're a Bobcat. You are a Bobcat. I can see with that red shirt that you're wearing. So that at the end of the day, we produce fine, young, and community citizens that go on to lead the city and this school district, and most of all, this community that we love so much. So thank you for joining us and for having us here and honoring us on this special day. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Yes, I'm a very proud product of the public schools here in Edinburg, all the way from Fred Gonzalez Elementary to 6th grade campus, Memorial Junior High, Edinburg North. So thank you very much for the sacrifices that the school board makes for our kids and for our future. Anybody? All right. Thank you all very much. I'm looking forward to your next board meeting, and I'll go over there myself to say thank
Mayor,
you to
if
all
I
of
will,
them.
I did not
Please.
graduate here, but my son will.
That's right. All right. Okay. Moving on to item number 7, public comments. Any public comments, Madam Secretary?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. The Edinburgh City Council allows for a specific portion of the City Council meeting to be dedicated to public comments. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. I will be taking time. Please note the public comment period is not interactive. The Council may not respond to public comments. At this time, Mayor and Council, there are 5 public comments. The first public comment is Pedro Salazar regarding follow-up on community concerns on data center.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thanks for the opportunity to come and speak with you. I'm the former Edinburgh 2040 chair, former Economic Development Corporation chair back in 2002. I'm the CEO for Red Square Dental and Orthodontics. I've got some prepared comments because I know I'm under 3 minutes. I want to start by acknowledging the residents who spoke at the last meeting. To me, they asked some good questions. Questions about water, power, public health, grid reliability, and who ultimately pays the bill. Those are not anti-technology questions, they are responsible community questions. What I want to talk to you about tonight is why we're seeing a growing anxiety about data centers and technology as a whole, not just in Edinburgh, but in La Feria, Harlingen, and all over the country. I tell my sons this all the time. The future is like a stampede of buffalo. They're coming at you faster than you think, and you really only have 2 choices. Try to stop them, or learn how to run with them. AI, data centers, driverless cars, automation, humanoid robots, this is not science fiction anymore. It's happening now, it's happening everywhere. The pace of change is unsettling, especially for communities that have historically borne the downside of development without always sharing in the benefits. So the anxiety that we're seeing in communities like ours, it deserves respect. But acknowledging anxiety does not mean you say no to everything. What it means is that you don't put your head in the sand. We don't pretend the future isn't coming. We don't let others define it for us. I believe Mayor Ochoa responded correctly at the last meeting by emphasizing the need for a sincere discussion and a viable plan, not panic and not blind acceptance. That balance is exactly what we tried to do as part of the Edinburgh 2040 Economic Development Campaign. We came to a conclusion that there was 3 things that will define development in the future: water, power, and people. Not incentives, not press releases, not wishful thinking. If you can responsibly provide water, power, and people, you will attract investment. If you can't, you won't, no matter how many deals you chase. Here's a part that often gets lost. Edinburgh actually has a real advantage if we plan intentionally. Water. We have access to significant water resources, which are well suited for industrial and non-potable uses when treated properly. That matters in a drought-prone area. And I'm referring to brackish water and reuse water. Power. South Texas is one of the best regions in the country for on-site power generation, solar, wind, and even geothermal. That gives us leverage to demand grid-isolated or grid-supportive projects rather than grid-straining ones. And then people. We are young, growing, and connected to higher education and workforce pipelines that many cities would envy. But we must align training with where technology is actually going. Thank you.
The next public comment is Ms. Fern McClarity regarding taxpayers' money.
Gentlemen, I am here again to express my concern over your spending. Every 12 months, we have a discussion concerning how the city needs more money. Not once have we heard or have discussions concerning the financial status of the people. Can the people afford the costs created by the programs that this council creates? It is my understanding that the city has advertised for emergency medical transportation. Don't waste my time. I know how this is going to end. The city council will decide that they can do the job at a lower cost. Y'all look at Mission, it doesn't work. And it will expand services into another private sector. Gentlemen, we have been here before, and it is always a way of taking patients to that one place that makes political contributions. I personally appreciate and like Medcare. They actually helped save my husband to get him from the Edinburg hospital to the heart hospital while he was having a heart attack. So I stand with them. About 3 months ago, I submitted a request for public information concerning the $10 million contribution to DHR for the purpose of creating 300 jobs with a $15 an hour salary. The number of jobs and the salaries were in the contract and a primary basis for the contribution. Well, I received the information finally, but all the salaries were blacked out. My assumption is that the city just gave the money and that no one checked the details. I will remind you that this council sold $9 million in bonds because it did not have the money. I will remind you that this council increased water rates by 67% because it did not have the money. I will remind you that this council is building a $6 million parking garage because all the other bond line items were overspent. It will be interesting to see what the final cost will be. Families are moving into multifamily housing because every 12 months the city needs more. The American dream does not include multifamily homes. We want a home, we want a yard, we want to enjoy our children. So again, I am asking y'all, when you're looking at the budget, trim it. Act like it's your own budget when you're at home and cut it. And do you want me to discuss my agenda items?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Or do I have to wait? All right, I have under the ordinance 9, talking about the code, Edinburg, talking about title, it looks like 15 or whatever. Can you please explain what this is and why? And then the other one is 9, that's 9A, 9B, same thing. What is this and why are you doing it? I've had a couple of calls and I pulled up the document, but I didn't really understand it. Thank you.
The next public comment is Mando Pacheco, petition to reroute trailer trucks on Canton. Sorry.
That's my handwriting. Good afternoon. All right, so good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Maria Pacheco, and I live here in Edinburg. My address is 2739 Seaton Street, directly adjacent to Canton Road in Los Lagos, Phase 4. I am here to formally document and request action regarding heavy semi-truck traffic on Canton Road and the long-term vibration impacts it has had on my home and my neighborhood. This issue began for my husband and I and the rest of our neighbors back in January of 2023. Before that, we really did not, we saw the trailers passing by, but we never felt the vibrations. The vibrations really, we started feeling them starting in January of 2023. We let some time pass by until we decided it was too much. The vibrations do feel like a mini earthquake inside the home. And so in May of 2023, I contacted the City of Edinburg and was transferred to Public Works. There I spoke with Valentin Sanchez. And mind you, he's a very welcoming gentleman. He worked with me. We had conversations back and forth throughout 2023 and 2024. There was only so much he could do. So he then referred me to, in June of 2024, he referred me to the Traffic Engineering Department. There, I spoke to Patricia Longoria. I believe she's no longer working for the city. But during that conversation with Patricia, my concerns were dismissed, and I was accused of exaggerating or fabricating the problem. So no investigation or corrective action followed. In August of 2024, I filed a formal complaint with the city Human Resources Department regarding this interaction. After that, I was advised that the only possible thing to do to mitigate the problem was to contact the police department and ask them to send more patrolling to just be able to, I guess, have an impact on the speed of the trailer semi-trucks. And unfortunately, several attempts I made with the police department, and nothing has actually changed. In March of 2025, though, I requested to speak with the city engineer and was contacted with Mercadeo Hinojosa. With conversations with him, he recommended to build a cinder wall fence along Canton Road, which my husband and I did. It was an expense that we cannot afford, but we made the effort and the sacrifice to actually build the cinder block wall. It cost us over $20,000, and for a while we thought maybe it would work. Unfortunately, we did finish the construction in August of 2025, I'm sorry. And unfortunately, in November of this year, between the days of 21st and the 30th, my husband and I are both teachers, and we had the Thanksgiving break off.
Thank you, Ms. Pacheco.
Oh, thank you.
The next public comment is Mario Salinas regarding awareness.
Thank you. Sidebar, Edinburg School District has been around for more than 100 years. And it has produced hundreds of thousands of highly successful community members in Edinburg, in the state of Texas, and around the world. In fact, in those over 100 years of existence, these 2 years, for the first time in history, we have a majority female board. We've got 3 of them here. But that's not why I'm here tonight. In February, the school district promotes cancer awareness. And next Saturday on the 31st, we initiate that activity. And before I go over my note here, thank you, Mayor Ochoa and the City Council for inviting us and letting us talk about this activity. On Saturday the 31st of 2026, Edinburg CID will host the first annual cancer awareness event titled Hope in All Colors at Richard R. Flores Stadium. This event will bring together students, families, staff, and the broader community for an evening that is uplifting, educational, and meaningful. This is really not our wheelhouse, but cancer is so pervasive in our community, including our school district. We feel that we want to be part of the solution. At this activity, doors will open at 4:30 p.m. with a pre-show performance beginning at 5 p.m., including with the release of White Doves. Student performances will lead into the main program at 6:20. This event is centered on 4 pillars: awareness, early detection, remembrance, and unity. Cancer affects all families in one form or another. This event creates a space to honor those that are currently fighting cancer, remember those that we have lost, encourage those that are going through the fight, and assist with decision-making with proactive health decisions, while demonstrating how education and the arts can bring a community together. For this activity, students will have a leading primary role. Our fine arts students at all grade levels will provide live performances throughout the evening among using music and movement to guide reflection, hope, and inspiration. In addition, our Career and Technology program students have designed, built, and painted 26 cancer awareness ribbons, each representing a different cancer color. These ribbons will be placed on every 5-yard line of the football field. We will hear testimonials from Edinburg CISD staff, from students, from survivors, and from families who have been directly impacted by this disease. We will also hear from medical professionals and others who will speak on the importance of cancer screenings and early detection and prevention. As most research says, most cancers can be cured if they're detected early. I'm also proud to share that this event is made possible entirely through the generous sponsorship of Blue Cross Blue Shield. We appreciate the City of Edinburg for their partnership with us, and we look forward to the City of Edinburg and our community to come and visit with us on this very meaningful night. Thank you.
The next public comment is Ian Alfaro regarding ordinances B.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Ian Alexander Alfaro, and I currently serve as the Vice President of the great University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I represent about 35,000 students, and I wanted to bring y'all's attention to under ordinances number 9B about amending the Chapter 32 boards. I think this will be very good for not only the City of Edinburg, but for the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I think it would serve having a student there at the board of the Downtown District Board. I think it would be an amazing bridge between the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley and the City of Edinburg. And I think that UTRGV and the City of Edinburg has a lot of values that align with each other, and I think it would be an amazing opportunity to work. And I wanted to thank Mayor Omar Ochoa for coming to our Senate meeting. Our Senate meeting is bi-weekly, so anyone from the City Council is welcome to join. But I wanted to just comment that I'm very looking forward to ordering the amendments of this, and I wanted to recognize and thank the City of Edinburg for their efforts with working between the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley and the City of Edinburg. Thank you. That's it.
There are no further comments made.
Okay, we'll move on then to public hearings. We have items A, B, and C. I will now open public hearings for any of these items, if anyone would like to come up and speak.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Javier Salazar. I currently sit as the President for the Parks and Rec Board. I'm here on item 8A on the agenda. I want you to first understand that this is in line, in accordance with everything set forth with the Parks and Rec Master Plan that was on the feedback of the citizens of the community. And it is a recommendation of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board that we ask that you consider for the approval and requesting authorization for the city manager to submit a grant application to Texas Parks and Wildlife under the 2026 fiscal year. This grant is going to be specifically for the Veterans Detention Pond Trail Project. It's going to be located on the corner of Alberta and Veterans Boulevard. This project is going to consist of a half-a-mile asphalt walkway that runs the perimeter of the future detention pond that's going to be expected to be completed by the end of 2026. This trail is going to provide there's going to be a safe, accessible facility for walking, jogging, and bicycling for the residents of all ages and abilities in this area. It's also going to include ADA compliant accessible ramps, development of a parking lot, solar lighting, benches, trash receptacles, safety fencing surrounding the detention pond, bike racks, and trail signs. We strongly feel that this particular area is greatly underserved, if you're familiar with this particular area. I think the furthest thing that goes out there is Escandon. After that, there's really nothing that goes out that way. And with the growing population of the neighborhood surrounding this detention pond, we greatly feel that this could greatly improve the quality of life of the residents that live in that area. So again, we ask you for your consideration for approval for this. Thank you for your time. Is there any questions that you may have for me?
No questions? All right. Thank you
for your time.
I was just looking at, can you explain B, exactly what size this sign is? It's only for one company, one person. Can you kind of explain what this is? And is it in regulations with what we all have, all the other businesses have? Thank you.
Is the applicant for item B present? Yes. Do you want to come up and explain the item? Here, come on up. Come up to the front, please.
So, good afternoon, City Council and City Mayor. Congratulations. So nice to see you here. We are...
if you could just state your name for the record.
Oh, Ismael Reyes.
Okay, thank you.
Current owner of the land and operating of the business that we're trying to get the approval of the LED sign wall. We are requesting this because only 50%, according to an ordinance you guys have in place, it's only a 50% that we can put a wall of LED. And this is just like a partial wall of the business. It's like a cutoff from a corner. And we're trying to put that as an LED sign for our customers to see the menu, any signs or anything that probably even, I was even offering the city, if y'all had something that y'all want to put up, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I don't know, a week, y'all could use it as well. I was giving this look to that area. We are the owner of the next property, and we also want to give that area a nice look and more of a, I think that with a sign, it will bring it up a little bit more, the vibe on the business. We already remodeled it. It was an old drive-through there, but we gave it a new look once you pass there on Monte Cristo Road. The address is 3703 Nadia Lane, but it's right off Monte Cristo Road.
And just for the record, what's the business?
El Ronco Cervicar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And it'll be located there on Monte Cristo, correct?
Yeah.
Fast-growing area.
We just bought that location. We rent it, and we just bought it, so we're remodeling it. We wanted to give it a nice look to it, so we already put up a sign and everything just in case it wasn't approved. But if it's approved, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the sign and put the LED wall. Yeah.
And just to be clear, if you can answer the question, and Jaime can come up and answer if it's easier. But I guess what you're looking for, right, is it's not a flat wall. It looks like it's almost like a hexagonal corner, right?
There you go.
And it's one of the hexagonal panels.
There you go.
And you want to put the LED on the panel.
On the panel, yeah.
Right? Okay.
On just that panel.
Okay.
And if there was too much square footage, probably we can cut it off around 4 or 5 feet up and just get like from the 4 or 5 feet all the way to the 20-foot level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's at 20 by 8. Yeah.
I have a question. Does that sign face the traffic?
No, that one's perpendicular to the traffic.
Okay.
If we put it on the other walls, it will face towards either east or westbound.
That's the only, obviously, the size and the brightness. If it was higher, it wouldn't be a concern. But if it faces traffic, it kind of blinds. I've seen some of the bigger signs.
Like if you're driving, you have the wall like right here. We put it on the other walls, we'll have it like front, facing the front. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
And just, Jaime, I think you can answer this one. So the technical sign requirement, what is it regarding walls, or why is it that this needs a variance?
So wall signs are allowed up to 50% of the coverage of the wall. Mm-hmm. So this one is 8 by 21. It covers that entire 8 by 21 wall. If you were to put it on the other larger wall, it would need a variance. But because it covers 100% of that wall, The code only allows up for 50% coverage of a wall.
Mhm.
So that's why.
Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
The sign is 8 by 21, 8 feet by 21 feet high, and it covers an entire wall. It's not the, it's kind of like a little corner wall.
And if it was on another wall, it would not need a
If it would
variance?
be on the larger wall, it wouldn't need a variance because it would be less than 50% of the wall size.
Yeah, so right now, our sign variant, our sign regulation is dependent on the size of the wall and the percent of coverage of the sign on that wall, correct?
Right.
And so I guess the reason that he's requesting this is because the specific wall panel is thin, right? It's a thin wall panel.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
only 8 feet wide.
It looks like there's a larger wall once you get past the hexagonal corner, right? So technically, under our variance, he could cover half of the larger wall, and that would be bigger than the sign variance he's asking for now.
The way that the code is written, that is correct, Mayor.
Yeah, we probably ought to look at that.
We are looking at that.
Yeah, I was also looking at that because I was like, well, how can I cover all this wall with all this LED? Just a little piece, but it's an ordinance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're just here to.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a better anchor probably for these LED restrictions, whether it's the size, total square footage of it, brightness of it. I'm sure there's a better way to do it than just wall coverage, because then we get into these weird situations, right, where it's a small side of a wall, right, he's asking to cover it up because it's technically not in compliance with our percentage requirement, but then he could take a huge wall, right, and make a much larger LED sign and not require a variance, any permission whatsoever, and it's worse of an eyesore, it's brighter to the traffic, right, so it just sounds like our sign LED requirement needs to get tweaked so that it's more practical.
Yeah, what we're thinking, Mayor, is maybe in the future capping it out at a certain square footage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Instead of a percentage of the
I think
wall.
this was before all the new technology of brightness and
Right.
LED, something we had to revamp.
Right.
And we just got an approval. We also needed to go through a city commission and everything on the city of Mission as well. But we do have like the max square footage. That's our max. We did get approval on it. We're just installing it. So now we want to do all these to our locations. We have 6 locations in the valley: 2 in Edinburg, 1 in Mission, 1 in McAllen, 1 in Donna, and 1 in West Lago. So we're trying to bring this LED thing to all of our locations. Hopefully we get approved. If not, we'll find another place.
Thank you for investing back into the community.
Oh yeah, for sure we are. A lot. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so public hearings is still open. If there's any other comments on items A, B, or C? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Council, items A, B, and C, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve A through C.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve items A, B, and C. Any further discussion? Last thing I'll say, just on the record, right, I mean, I've said it over and over again, I'm generally not in favor of variances. But when we've got a rule that doesn't make sense, and variances come because the rule doesn't make sense, then what we need to do is revise the rule. And I think this particular one is one that's pretty clear. We need to revise the rule because it literally doesn't make sense. You can have a small sign that's violating the ordinance, and then you can have a much larger sign under a different circumstance that does not violate the ordinance. So I think this is a clear indicator, right, of one that we need to review.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that, Mayor. We're going to be amending the Unified Development Code, and this is on the list.
Okay, excellent.
And so before we vote, Jaime, so what if one of these signs, and not this business in particular, but with the code, and obviously we'll revamp it, but what happens if this ever becomes a nuisance to traffic, and we've approved it, and we've the business moves on?
Well, just because we're approving it, there's still certain conditions that they must follow. One of them is the brightness. There's certain state standards, state laws and regulations that must be followed when it comes to the brightness of a sign. We'll be monitoring that to make sure that they're in compliance.
Those standards are based on height and brightness?
They're based on brightness.
Brightness, but not height.
Not necessarily height.
Okay, just a question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? No? All right, there's a motion and a second to approve items A, B, and C. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right, all items pass. Moving on to ordinances, item 9A.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Edinburg, Texas at Title 15, Land Usage, Chapter 150, General Provisions, adding Section 150.08, Edinburg Thoroughfare Plan.
Is there a motion on item 9A?
Motion to approve. Second.
All right, there's a motion to approve and a second. On this one, do you want, if we could get just a quick explanation on what we're doing here?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Tom Reina, Assistant City Manager. Yes, sir. This is part of our comprehensive plan that we have throughout the city. This is how we determine the amount of right-of-way that we have throughout the city for each individual road. In the past, the MPO, the Hidalgo County MPO, took care of this thoroughfare map. We would have to submit to them, get it approved by the county. After their certification and their review, once they became the Rio Grande MPO, it came back under that they do not govern our local governments on what we can designate as right-of-way and not. This is one that we need to maintain, so that way we're ensuring that we're planning the future correctly with our comprehensive plan, the UDC, on what to do and ask for right-of-way. One of the other big items for this is if anybody does need a variance or proposes to change a right-of-way, we do have to have a public meeting, and after that, I bring it back to you to get approved if y'all approve of either reducing the right-of-way or increasing the right-of-way depending on the situation. So basically, this is part of our planning on to securing the right-of-way throughout the city.
Fair enough. Okay, let me. I think I understand it. So let me just make sure that I can clarify. So the measure that's being considered is whether to approve this thoroughfare plan, right? That's included in the backup documents. You can see the city's thoroughfare plan in there. Prior to today, the MPO, right, the Rio Grande Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization, they were the keepers of the thoroughfare plan, including the City of Edinburgh's thoroughfare plan. And the whole point of the thoroughfare plan is to designate certain streets within the City of Edinburgh, either as major arterial, regular streets, and that helps to plan how big those streets are going into the future.
That is correct.
So that we know kind of what to expect on developments along those streets. After a review by the Federal Highway Administration, they determined that the MPO was not the proper organization to hold the thoroughfare plans because they can't actually enforce planning and zoning rules. And so as a result now, the City of Edinburgh needs to take that thoroughfare plan back and adopt it as our own.
Correct.
Okay. And what we're doing is basically taking the same thoroughfare plan that the MPO had. We're not making any changes. The document that's existed with the MPO, we're taking that and approving it today.
Correct.
Okay,
And then,
so it's the same substance it's always been as far as the thoroughfare plan goes. This is more of kind of an administrative thing because the Federal Highway Administration has determined that the city needs to be the keeper of the thoroughfare plan, not the MPO.
correct. And all the same identification, roadway classifications remain the same. We're basically bringing it in-house.
Okay, great. That being the case, what I did see in the thoroughfare plan is that there is a suggestion, or I guess a loose requirement, that the city review it on occasion, but there's no actual timeline provided for currently in the thoroughfare plan. I'm of the mindset, right, that if we have a master plan, it needs to be regularly reviewed and not just kind of left to chance. So what I would like to see, I think 5 years, right, is a good minimum standard. If we can include that in this thoroughfare plan on its adoption now, right, that there's a requirement that at a minimum, the city has to review comprehensively the thoroughfare plan every 5 years.
Certainly,
And
we
what
can,
do you think of that?
Sir, yes, sir, we can. We just need to amend the motion and then add that motion on there, and we can certainly add that and then run it through legal and then get for your signature if y'all approve with that condition.
Okay, great. And then also just to clarify what I did see in there, if there is any changes in the thoroughfare plan, right? If we're going to redesignate streets differently, then we have the authority to do it as a city council, but we have to go through a public hearing process first before we can make that change.
That is correct. So I was looking at the same format as the same public hearing that we did just now with the changes or the variances. It opened it up to the public to make any comments on that portion.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, Mayor, I'm going to go ahead and amend my motion to approve and to review it every 5 years.
Great.
Yeah, I do have a question before we vote. Tom, so understanding that, right, it was MPO, this is kind of hand-in-hand adopting because of the opinion from federal
highways.
Highway, right? But does this affect, I know that sometimes the MPO would designate streets and then would prioritize which streets get worked on. At time, is that, am I thinking of something else?
That's
because
something else.
We've
Yeah,
taken streets off lists that we didn't prioritize. That's not.
No, sir. This is just our planning document to plan for the width of the right-of-way and what type of roadway we're going to build. Okay. That other process is still the same instance where we're going to rank project-ready projects, but that will not affect.
Not citywide.
Right.
When they come from the MPO.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. We still have to meet all the requirements, and we're going to be able to fit that size of roadway within the current right-of-way.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So there is a motion to approve, but with the change of a requirement to review every 5 years. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Next item, ordinances, is 9B.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Edinburg, Texas at Title III Administration, Chapter 32 Boards, Councils, Commissions, and Committees, Section 32.43, Downtown District Steering Committee by adding subsection A1 to Section 32.43.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion approved in a second. So on this one, quick summary, and I'll provide the summary since I'm familiar with it. So the Downtown Steering Committee is a 7-member committee. It was created by the city back in 2024, so it's fairly recent in terms of its existence. And its, I guess, responsibility, its task is to give the city input as to the development of downtown. To me, that seems like a prime fertile area to have student input. UTRGV being just down the street, students wanting to have cultural, entertainment, arts district here in downtown. It seemed to me like it was a really good platform to allow a student voice formally onto a city committee to be able to provide that student perspective on what downtown should be. But rather than have the city council appoint a student, it seemed like a good idea to allow the student government, right, the elected representation of UTRGV to choose their own representative to put on that board. This was something that I was familiar with when I was a student government way back in the day in Austin. Student government then would have the ability to put students on Austin city boards and councils. And so the Student Government Association was very enthusiastic about this. And so that's why they are here today to speak in favor of it. Is there anything else you all would like to say? All right. I summarized it all right? Okay, great. Questions, discussions?
I still have a question because we don't know. I mean, you've got the young people, which is wonderful, but I do want it to turn into McAllen. Downtown in the older part there on 15th Street, 17th Street. You know, it's wonderful, the young people, but a lot of times I don't know whether or not they think about the dangers. And that really has become really bad over in McAllen.
Fair enough. What I will say is it's 1 member out of 7, first of all. Second of all, the Downtown Steering Committee doesn't have any formal authority to approve the types of businesses, the issue permits. It's an advisory committee to the city. Very important advisory committee to the city, all right? So I'm not downplaying the role, but it doesn't have the ability to decide on behalf of the city what goes downtown. But we really, really are looking forward to your input. So thank you all for stepping up and being willing to provide this representation to the city. All right. Anything else? All right. Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes.
Congratulations, you TRGV.
Thank you. All right, next item is 10A.
Consider appointment to the following City Advisory Board, Council, Commission, and Committee. Airport Advisory Board of South Texas International Airport of Edinburg, 1 member.
Is there a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to remove Roland Gomez and appoint Bobby Garcia.
All right, there's a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. All those opposed? Same sign. Okay, motion carries. Moving on to consent agenda, we have items A through G.
To approve A through G.
All right, there's a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve consent items A through G. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 12, other business. Any future items? This is not a future item, but Ms. Pacheco, who was here earlier, if we could just make sure to get the information, because I know she didn't get to finish what it was that she was trying to say.
Yes, sir. I believe Assistant City Manager Tom Reyna has already approached her.
Okay, excellent. All right, any other items? No? Okay, then we'll move to item 13, which is executive session. Can I get a motion to enter executive?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Time now is 6:51, and we are entering executive session.
Thank you.
Item A, consultation with City Attorney regarding pending potential and/or contemplated litigation, settlement offers, and/or legal matters subject to the attorney-client privilege under the authority of the Open Meetings Act. Item B, consultation with City Attorney and possible action regarding agreement with Palm Valley Animal Society. Item C, discussion and possible action regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Item D, discussion and possible action regarding economic development matters, agreement with EDC regarding Ebony Hills Development Project Workforce Resource Center. Item E, discussion and possible action regarding economic development matters. 1, Project Happy Gilmore. 2, Project Comida. 3, Project Chair.
Time now is 8:37, and we are coming back into council chambers. Can I get a motion to get back into the open?
So move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to get back in open session. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right, motion carries. We're back in the open. Based on the discussion, is there any action required?
Yes, Mayor. On item 13B, recommend a motion authorizing the approval of an agreement on terms and conditions as discussed in executive session.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right. Motion passes.
On item 13C, recommend a motion authorizing the acquisition of real property as presented in executive session, and to authorize and direct the city manager to effectuate all instruments, agreements, and documents necessary to accomplish the acquisition of the property in accordance with the terms and conditions as presented in executive session.
All right. The only caveat I would put to that is if there is an agreement, a final agreement that council hasn't reviewed, we should review it before that's fully signed. All right. Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right. Motion passes.
And finally, on item 13E2, recommend a motion to approve an agreement with the EDC related to Project Comida on the terms and conditions as discussed in executive session.
All right. Is there a motion?
So move.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right. Motion passes. Anything else?
No further action items at this time.
All right. Seeing as there's no other business on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned.